I'm gonna mute you, T, right quick. Let me just mute T. Um, yeah, let me do this. Go to the Sorry, right there. Um, let me go to the. Ah, there we go. So, all right. Yep. So, how you doing, Tamiko? We're gonna start now. We
Hello,
like.
everyone.
Um, okay. Tonight, y'all want to reconnect. Doc, let me see. Make sure Doc in here. Okay, they both in here. They muted. Okay. Yeah. Tonight, y'all on the reconnect. We have a very special and interesting guest. Um, she's a mother, a survivor, a um, all around Renaissance woman. She has a book called Behind Her Smile, about a young lady that's been through some pretty traumatic things in her life. And
Yes.
so I wanted to start off, just ask one question about the book. Is this sort of a indirect autobiography of yourself, or
Yes, actually, it was a journal,
okay,
and I found it through life as I was moving into another house, and I just said, you know what, I'm gonna try to make this into a book. But yes, it's about myself,
okay,
although I had to change names and
name,
locations and things like that. But it's about my childhood, a few things that I've been through, um, growing up without a mother, growing up without a father, and being raised by siblings.
mm,
And it goes into play as being molested,
okay,
being molested, not getting the proper love from my siblings that I should have, and just learning from it, getting pregnant at a young age, and just learning from the things that I've been through. And that's why I wanted to share my story, because maybe I was able to help another woman that may have been through the same thing.
okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much with the first starts off with the first question is that what was it that made you write the book behind?
Um, like I said, first it was just a diary. It was just my thoughts when I was younger, um, like a journal.
Yes.
And like my early 20s, I ran. Oh, I ran. I found that, and I was so excited because going over it, and when I read it, you know, and reliving it, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean. It hit harder because
Yes, ma'am.
now it's years since I even wrote in it, and I just can't believe that I've been through these things and I'm still here. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm glad I don't look like what I've been through.
Right.
You get what
Yes.
I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
And a lot of cases and the situations that I've been through when I was younger, a lot of women don't come out as strong like I have. You get what I'm saying? They got multiple children, which is nothing wrong with that. They may be strung out on drugs, whatever, but I'm still out here striving and pushing strong. And that's one thing that my family does admire about myself. I admire it as well. But yeah, I'm
Yes.
just appreciative of just, I was going through a hard time when publishing my book. And the reason why is because now I'm about to share all my personal information,
Mm-hmm.
most of it. And I was afraid of my family judging me.
Okay.
So that's one hard cookie. That's something I went through when publishing it. I remember reaching out to my oldest sister, and I was so nervous, and I said, my book will be published in about 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm so scared. And she said, why? She looked at it as an amazing thing. She said, you should be so proud of yourself, Miko. Um, no one in our family has ever published a book. Why are you nervous? And I'm just like, because things that happened to me when I was younger, was in the family.
Mm-hmm.
And these are things that I never shared before. So I was really afraid of judgment from my family. What if they don't believe me? You know, why did you wait until you became an adult to share these things? Why you didn't share it when you were younger? Why didn't you tell someone? These are things that were just running through my mind, but I knew I wanted to share my story because maybe it would help someone. And also it helped me. You know, it was like a weight lifted.
Yeah. So where did you grow up?
Well, I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
West Side. My teenage years, I lived in Indiana, Indianapolis, best
Okay.
years of my life. And then I moved back here.
Okay.
And when I got pregnant with my son, who's 17, I moved back to Indiana, but I only moved there for like maybe a year. And then I moved back here because I was trying to raise my son with me and his father, who was in Michigan. But
Okay.
yeah, I was born and raised in Detroit.
So I mean, by you going through what you went through, you just explained that you're going through. How did you, as a young lady, see yourself in the world? How did you see your place in the world? What did you see your value as your value?
When I was a teenager,
Yeah, after going through what you went through and you're writing your journal, how did you see your
um,
place?
believe it or not, the reason why I call my book Behind Her Smile, because I was always a bubbly, outgoing, smart, young lady. I was in sports. I was like the leader of my teams. I brought light to my family per se, even though my siblings were much older than I and they raised me after my mother and father passed. I wasn't a I'm not gonna say I was a troublemaker, but I got into some things, typical teenager. I searching for love in the wrong places.
Mm-hmm.
Um, getting attached easily. Um, and when I was 16, 15, 16, I got pregnant.
Okay.
And that changed my life as well because the naive 15, 16-year-old, I wanted to keep my child, my baby, but my sisters did not.
Okay.
And of course, I didn't have no say and I got a abortion. But that is one thing that still lives with me to this day. But I got pregnant and my sister, and that's when I was staying in Indiana, Indianapolis, and my sister sent me back here. She lost her mind. She sent me here with one of my older siblings and my sister here. I got an abortion. And after that, I believe I began to act out really bad, just hanging out with the wrong people. Remind you, I'm an AB student, honor roll. I began to barely go to school.
Yeah.
Smoking weed, dating older men. And what I mean by older men, I was 16, 17, like 20, 21.
Yeah.
Just being fast and thought I knew it. And life humbled me when I got like in 11th and 11th grade, and all my friends were getting ready for graduation, prom, and I was damn near about to fail. And my sister said, I remember staying with the guy at 17, and I came to one of my older sisters like, can I come stay with you? Because I'm like, I don't want to. He was abusive.
Okay.
And she said, the only way you can come and stay here is if you get your ass back in school and you graduate.
Mm-hmm.
I did whatever I had to do. I was working at Wendy's.
Right.
I think I was working at McDonald's. I put myself in night school, summer school, and I graduated.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that not only for my sister, for myself, because I knew my sisters weren't going to take care of me for the rest of my life. You get what I'm saying? They already had their children. They were taken care of. So like I said, I wasn't a stupid young lady. I knew what I had to do when I did it.
Dr.
And as soon as I graduated, got pregnant with my son. What you
Let
say?
me let no, I was saying let me let Dr. Mr. T if they have any questions for you.
Okay.
Let me let them jump in here, chime in.
No, I'm just listening to the sister before I ask when I'm gonna jump in.
Okay,
I'm
all
just
right.
listening to her story.
Okay,
I'm,
all right,
Now I
yes,
can
sir.
jump
I'm
in.
definitely listening.
Okay, all right.
I'm
So
I'm really trying to get my mother.
What you say about your mother?
you're breaking up, brother. You say what?
I'm trying to get my mother. I'm trying to get my mother to come alive now.
Okay,
Okay. Gotcha.
okay, yes, sir. So okay. So how many siblings was it? Did you have any brothers? Because I know
Yes.
you
So
mentioned.
I have, believe it or not, have 6 sisters, 7
Okay,
brothers.
okay. Oh,
It's
wow,
14 of us. I'm the last child.
okay.
And I believe maybe a year or 2 ago, I found out we had another sibling, which is the oldest of all of us. I never met him,
Wow.
but that's what I heard. So it may be 15 of us.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, I have a large family. My mother had 14 kids, 10 by her husband and 4 by my father.
Okay. Wow.
Yes, and my mother and father passed away. I believe before I was 1. My mother passed before I was 1, and my mother passed before I was 1, and my father passed before I was 2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's the story. So I never ever met him. Don't remember.
Okay. So how old were you when you became a mother?
Okay, I was 19.
19.
I
Okay.
was 19. I had my son when I was 19, and that changed my life forever.
And you were with his
Um,
father when
no, I'm not with his
no,
father.
no, I'm saying when he was born, y'all were
Yes,
together.
yes.
Okay. So were y'all ready for the responsibility, or was it something that was kind of like it just kind of like exploded on the scene, and you know, uh, y'all just
Yes.
handled it as it came?
Before I was pregnant, or before I found out I was pregnant, me and my son's father was together every day.
Okay.
Every day he picked me up from school. Every weekend we were together. I met his family. He met some of my family. We were always together. And something shifted when I found out I was pregnant.
Okay.
I just, it's that, you know, pregnant women go through something, and I couldn't stand the smell of them. I didn't like them. And that kind of, you know, pushed us apart. We were still cordial, but we weren't together after that. And not only that, he had another baby on the way. My son has a sister that's a few months under her. I didn't find that out until after I had my son. But yeah, yep, I had my son in 2007, and maybe when he was 6 months,
Hmm.
yep, 6 months, his father went to prison for, I believe, 7 years.
Okay.
And that changed a lot, because although we were not together, when I moved back to Michigan, he was the babysitter while I worked. He watched him every morning while I went to work. And when he went to prison, that's when life really kicked in, because now I have to find a new babysitter, someone I trust.
Hmm.
And that was real hard because of what happened to me as a child.
Right. Right.
I was skeptical of who could keep my son, and he was just a baby, because I got molested when I was like 3 or 4.
Okay.
So in my mind, if this can happen to me, it can happen to my
Okay.
son. So I tried my best to protect him from that. And I went through a lot trying to get someone to watch him while I could work. But my sisters couldn't do it because they were either in school or working. My brothers would help me out here and there, but they had their own lives. So I just had to find a daycare and start there.
So what do you think? Okay, in the relationship with your son's father, um, did you want to sustain that relationship where your son can have both parents? And if so, where do you think you went wrong in that equation, and where do you think the father went wrong?
Um, well, absolutely. That's all I wanted. I told him that when I was pregnant. I wanted a 2-parent household. I want you to be in my son's life. I wanted to be with him just for my son, even though we were broken up. I wanted that. I wanted to give my son that because I never had it, of course. And my son deserved that. But of course, it didn't happen that way. I think where I went wrong, my communication.
Okay.
I am, I'm better at it. I'm not the best, but I'm better at it. But back then, I think if I knew how to communicate and express my feelings, I think we could have had a better foundation as far as a friendship or relationship. But it was a communication for it. We didn't know how to communicate. We was always attacking each other, and still to this day.
Okay, so just to not to so both of y'all are under 40. The both of you have taken it.
I'm 36.
Okay.
I believe my son's father, I believe he's 38 or 39. I may be wrong, but
Okay.
I do believe he's under 40.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Just just wondering around, the age range of both of you when the son was born. So I know you mentioned that you wanted to talk about some things with mental health, right?
Hold on, hold on, hold on,
Absolutely.
hold on.
Go
Let
ahead,
me jump in here.
bro. Okay.
I want to go back to I think the sister was saying when she was pregnant, she was, going through the issues that women go through when they're pregnant, right?
Yes.
And you were saying that you couldn't. Can you repeat that again? I kind of couldn't get that. You couldn't.
Yes. I was saying that I couldn't stand him. At the time, it wasn't anything that he did. Later on, I found out that he cheated, of course, but I couldn't stand the smell of him. Um, Everything he did annoyed my soul. Oh my God. And he was still in the streets, of course. And I'm like, I'm pregnant with your child. You ain't gonna change that, and he like, no, just because you're pregnant, I'm still gonna be who I am. So it was a lot of things that just made me not want to be around him. And remind
Did
you, we
you?
was always
Okay.
together before I was pregnant. So that kind of pushed us away and kind of destroyed our friendship. So that made me want to stay down in Indiana when I was pregnant because I couldn't stand him. Everything he did annoyed me. And I think it was a hormone thing, because I didn't have no ill, malicious intent towards him. I just couldn't, I can't explain it. It was just,
So do you
oh
think?
Lord. When he used to come around, I'm like, your skin stinks.
Do you think? Um, do you think with you becoming pregnant that he would change his ways in terms of being in the street?
Yeah, my young brain thought that. I thought that he already had a child. I believe at that time, his oldest daughter was 2. But me giving him his first son, I thought that would change him 100%. But no, he was the same old in the streets, the way he was getting it. That's how he was going to get it, who he was. Nothing changed other than him just trying to make more money and take care of his kids. And that's how he ended up in prison.
So did you have any conversation with him about the life he was living before you all had a child and during your pregnancy, in terms of him changing his behavior?
I was always attacked. It wasn't a conversation. It would be always me attacking him. My deliverance wasn't very good back then, and I was pregnant too. So
Okay.
how I felt, I was just getting it out. That's why I said if our communication was better, maybe I could have sat down with him and said, you know what, this is my first child. You know what I've been through growing up. I would love for us to try to figure, have a plan before I have our son, but I didn't, and I think about it now, of course, because right now as I speak, we do not have a relationship at all. And he has walked out of my son's life. And that affects me on so many levels. And not only does it affect me, my son is battling with that.
Of course.
My son is trying to figure out, why doesn't his dad love him anymore? What did I do for my dad to not love me anymore? That's a different story. And me trying to be mom and dad, I don't even know what to say. I can't fix it. I just got to let him go through these emotions, because I still don't know why. But yeah, if our communication was better back then and I knew how to speak with him, he is a man that cuts you off. He is a man that thinks he's always right. And he tries to intimidate. And that used to shut me down immediately, to where if I was trying to speak to him, I didn't want to speak no more after that. But yes, I did try, especially in my early pregnancy years. I mean, months.
It's a really interesting dynamic, because when men are in dialogue with women, it's like the way we communicate, the style at which we communicate, the very directness, the very bluntness, a lot of times the very absence of what a woman would call emotions. A lot of times it comes across like we're trying to be controlling or intimidating, or what the new word is aggressive, when really that's just how, I'm just speaking in general. I'm not talking about your situation, because it's a
I
big
get that.
thing in our community. Like it's a really big thing with our community, in terms of women having a feeling that we're just so aggressive and trying to be manipulative and controlling by the way we choose.
It's the way we speak. I
Yeah,
understand that. And even with that being said, in our adult life, I stepped back. I said, okay, maybe it's maybe it's me. So let me try to change the way I approach him. Let me try to change the way my tone may sound. And then I started to see that it wasn't, because now I'm grown. And now I can, I'm thinking about what I'm saying. And even with me being calm, me being observing, me listening to him, he still cuts me off. He always has to be right. It's always what he has to say when we were communicating years ago. And I just shut down, because if I know I'm changing and I'm doing things in a different way, and he's still yet yelling, cussing, disrespecting me and not listening, I can only do so much. You know what I mean? So I just stopped communicating with them, period. And I said, you just communicate with your dad.
Right.
Because I can't get nothing through to him. I don't know what it is, but we had a friendship years ago, and then it just stopped. It just stopped. I still don't know. Me and my son talk about it. And he said, Mom, maybe it was because you started dating other men. And I said, but we were just friends. Like we had a relationship to where if he called me and said, I'm in town, I'm like, oh, you can come over and sleep on the couch. If you want, you can sleep with me. But we weren't sleeping together. We just had that friendship. We can talk. And then I started to date someone else. And then it's like, he just became so disrespectful. But my thing is, all you had to do was communicate with me. Maybe we could have worked something out. I just thought that we were friends, and we never, ever communicated after that. And we're talking about maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
Can we delve into a little bit of why that there was a separation between you two? Like, because I might be slow, forgive me, because I'm hearing that because it could be a lot of bitterness that comes from y'all interactions, in terms of you not liking him because of the way he smelled, or because he was in the street. That's a real thing. No, it's a real thing. So it's a sense of bitterness that can happen there because he's being treated a way that he may think is unfair. He's already been in the streets. He's not changing. He was in the streets. I don't know if he told our sister if he was going to change what he was in the streets. So why would this pregnancy affect him in a way in which that he feels like he needs to change, coupled with the way our sister described that she was treating him? So I just wanted to delve into that. And did those circumstances play a significant role into the separation?
Us just not having an honest conversation. We really haven't spoke about. Remind you, my son is 17.
Okay.
He's been in prison for 7 years. When he got out of prison, he moved out of state for maybe 2 years. We would talk over the phone, but we never talked about our past. We never brought up anything. And to this day, we haven't. It was up until maybe 3 years ago when, for the first time I ever put my son out. It was one of those times. You gonna disrespect me? You can get out. And I just dropped him off to his dad. I didn't call him. I didn't text him. I saw him and said, "Get out, there go your daddy, bye." And his dad ended up coming over and he said something to me and it hit hard. He said, "Miko, you know, you and I, we never really had an honest conversation ever." And I said, "I tried." And he still didn't get that. He still don't get how I tried multiple times to have honest conversations with him, but he would always shut me down. I think that he needs some healing. He needs some therapy, which are things that I am working on now. But it goes back to communicating and just listening to one another and hearing one another, understanding one another. We never, ever did that. Believe it or not, never.
Wow.
But I understand. I receive what you're saying very well. You know, I didn't gave up. When he gave up on my son, I kind of gave up trying to communicate with him or anything, you know, because I always get disrespected. I'm working on myself, my mental, you know, I had an addiction, which we're going to speak about in a minute. And I was going through a lot. And I have one child. You have one son and you couldn't step up and help me. So I lost all respect for him. And I don't know if it has, and I would never, ever think that he would give up on his son because of me. So I don't want to think that is, if it is that, I still don't believe it because I know how much he cared for his son. But we talking about 2.5 years since he walked out of his son's life, and my son is battling with that. And still, I don't understand.
Give me 1 minute. Hey Jay, you remember Doc? Remember when we were when I told you about the young brother that was at the shop and he used the oh my God, it was a word he was using. I was telling you about it, and I said, oh my God, he kept.
What my son and did.
No, he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. We were talking, and he came to. I can't think of it.
Yeah, I remember yes, I do remember. I don't
the
remember the
conversation,
word. Yeah.
and I can't remember the word.
Yeah, I don't remember the word.
That was her son,
okay.
and and he's and see now since you say that about the past 2.5 years, right? Since you say that, I can see what the 2.5 years have done to him.
Yeah.
No, seriously. And the reason I say that is because before he would come to the shop, he had, he was, he was a husky kid. Now he's really thin. He used to come in and he would, show us that he could sing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which he has a beautiful voice. I don't know if he's still singing or not, or if he still sings or not, but he has a beautiful voice. He's a very curious young man, I would say. And he's always looking for answers, He's always looking for answers. And so he and I would talk. We we would talk, and I wish I knew this word that this kid was using, and I remember he
Yeah,
kept
because
using.
we was talking about, because I remember it, because
Yeah, and I'm
you
like,
didn't change the word, you just
no, I didn't.
contextualized it. You just
Yeah,
contextualized it so he could see it in different. I remember I had a conversation.
yeah, and so
Yeah,
it was just
I'm
like
sorry
that.
if I
So,
cry because I get emotional for my son now.
no, it's okay.
yeah,
It's
we
fine.
get it. All y'all
You
do.
should. You should get emotional about your son.
All right, let me
So
say this though before we. Can I say one
but
thing?
Sure.
I want you to know, sister, that it is a real thing. For some of them, I can't speak for all my brothers. I can't speak for all my brothers, but it's enough of us, right? A woman can make a man walk right out his child's life. And I have this
But it
like
all it
this.
took,
Oh no, no,
if
listen to
that
me.
is the
Hold on.
case, because my
Listen to me.
family,
No, no, no,
I'm gonna
no,
let you
no, no.
finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, I know. Because this is not aimed at you.
Right.
This is not your situation. Um, I've been in a lot of conversations with women where they tend to think that whatever they do is a man should not be able to walk out of his child's life because of their behavior and what they do.
Right.
And I want you to understand that there's a lot of us. I'm one of them. I just put myself on the chopping block. Like, I'm one of them, because women sometimes think that, first of all, this is just my opinion on it. I liken it to men having a different
I want you
connection to.
guys to know that I am still listening. Okay. I'm just about to put this down for just one moment.
Okay, okay.
okay, okay.
I always liken it to men and women having a different connection to the child. Maybe it's something during the pregnancy. Um, and the queen who was on about a month ago, Karis, she talked about a situation with Lamar going through postpartum, and how a woman has had the ability to connect with this child for 9 months, and a man is just, he don't have that same connection. The child, once the child is born, it's like now it's on with the father. So I liken what I'm about to say, uh, akin to that. So a lot of times your behavior can say to a man, like, you know what, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And I do understand that women might find that hard to receive or to believe, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
It is the truth. You can cause that. Because sometimes we have to sit and listen, and make a decision. Do I throw you through every window in the house, or and possibly end up hurting you and hurting myself, being placed in prison, this, that, and the third? Or do I just walk away from this decision? And for those who judge that and say, yo, you can you can have a better temperament, you can rise above your own emotions. A lot of women say that, but they're not willing to practice that.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to say about that.
Hold on. I muted you. Let me unmute yourself because I can hear you. Can you unmute yourself? There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I'm
were moving
sorry.
something around. You were moving something around, so I muted you so it wouldn't interrupt the brother's.
Okay. I
Statement.
apologize, you guys. I was just
No, you're
trying
fine.
to reorganize things, but I hear that, and it may have been me. I can't even put it all on him. My thing is, I didn't have a clear understanding. If I would have, maybe
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sitting here today speaking on it.
Right.
Maybe we could have worked something out. Great co-parenting. Maybe we could have been in a relationship, but I can't read minds.
So, what was the co-parenting like before?
It was
Before you dropped him
good
off.
for it was just like if I could call him and say your son needs something, he
Mm-hmm.
would get it. Your son wants to spend time with you this weekend, he would come get him. When he pull up in the driveway, I could come out, come to the window, talk to him, let him know how you doing in school. We can laugh, joke, maybe even flirt, and that was that.
Okay.
And then after the time I told you, I started dating someone. I remember walking to his car one time when he was picking up my son. like I would normally do, and he just rolled the window up on me. Not only was that disrespectful, that hurt it. Because what I had to say to him was very important about his son. And I said, and he wasn't on the phone. I don't think it was anyone in the car with him other than even my son was just watching, you know. He thought that it was one of our little playful little jokes. He thought that he was going to roll it back down. But once again, I didn't know where the attitude was coming from because we were not together. We were just friends. And to this day, when my family's, you know, bringing the things up, I'm like, that man just wanted to be back with you. And I'm like, if he wanted me, all he had to do was put in effort and tell me. If that was what it was, you know. But to this day, I don't know what it is. I just know he flipped. And not when he flipped on me then, he was still in his son's life. I called him one time. I really needed his help because, remind you, I'm the only parent. The school is calling, the coach is calling, the counselor is calling, meaning I have to leave work. I have to get up. My only off day, I have to, you know. So I just said, you know what? Here's his dad's number. Y'all can call him. Yeah. And he came up there one time and tried to be the father of the year. And then after that, he kind of shifted away from his son. I really don't understand. This is what I think it was. I don't know. My son's behavior when he got in high school, he started smoking weed. He started doing a lot of different things. But you don't just give up on your son, you know? If you're not in prison, if you're not in dead, and you live in the same state, what's the issue? You get what I'm saying? I'm like, what's going on? So I would try to reach out to him. Why you not getting your son no more? You know, the holidays is coming up. His birthday is coming up. He just stopped everything. And now my son is going through a depression. Mm-hmm. Not only am I addicted to opioids and I'm trying to nurture my addiction, still being a single parent, paying all the bills by myself, don't get child support, don't get no extra income, but just trying to survive. And it's different when you are a single mother raising a young man.
So let me ask you this. I want to, because the mental health, before we get to the opioids, was the mental health thing, did that come before the opioid addiction, or was it something that came, sort of along with the opioid addiction?
Yeah, it came with the opioid addiction. I realized I had anxiety bad, but I was always against medication. I know that sounds crazy. No, how can you be addicted to opioids, but also be against and antidepressants or any psychological medications?
So the opioid, give me one. I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to ask you, the opioid, was it a medication?
First it was.
Okay, all right, okay. I just want us to, so we could,
Oh yeah, I can get into that. So it started my addiction, and then I can speak about the mental illness in the midst of it. First, it started when I got surgery. I got on some medications from my doctor, and I wasn't addicted then. Okay. I mean, when I say I wasn't addicted, I can literally have my prescription bottle on my counter or in the bathroom for months.
Right.
Maybe even a year. One time I threw the bottle away because I just was scared to use it. But as life began to life, bills began to bill, and struggles began to struggle. Right. I began to be depressed and stressed. Like, he stopped helping me out. Couldn't understand why. I promised him I would never put him on child support. That was in our younger years.
Yes.
Because I didn't want to. Why should I? As long as you're doing your job. You only got one child by me. I don't want to put you on child support.
Right.
So it began to be when I was depressed, and I I wanted that pain or the frustration to go away. I just wanted something to take the pain away. So then I began to use more opioids. And then my doctor began to be like, all right, Ms. Brown, now you're calling every week for another prescription. I can't do that. So she stopped it. Then I found other ways to get it. And then when I found other ways to get it, and they didn't have, because first it was just Tramadol. And when they didn't have that prescription, and then here go the dope person, I got something else that'll give you the same feeling, but it'll be much stronger. Then it went to narcos.
I'm sorry. Let me interrupt real quick.
I'm sorry.
Did you want us to put you all on stage?
No, so I didn't want to bring my mom up just yet because she's very apprehensive.
Okay.
So let's put her back down in the backstage,
yes,
so she can just listen to the conversation and get a feel for things.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll move from there. But
do you want to stay on the stage or you?
Oh yeah, I'm staying on the stage. So what I like to say, Miss B, is I appreciate you so very much. You don't even understand how things are moving through you. You know,
That's not even a half of it.
You are literally walking in a destiny that I need, my mother needs. So I just want to give you your flowers right now.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you, and God bless you. I needed to hear that.
Oh, for sure. I'm here for my people. You know what I mean?
Okay. I ain't about to cry.
Go ahead, let it out. Go ahead, let it out.
I do that at therapy.
Look, this is therapy.
This is therapy.
This is therapy right here, happening all year long, all day, every day. Anytime we're able to express ourselves and let go of something that has heavied our hearts, it's an opportunity to be therapeutic.
Yes. So when I'm talking about not gonna cry, I might have to. Now that I continue to talk about this, because
let me blow my nose.
Was addicted to opioids, pain medication, I will take the pain medication and go home and probably lay in bed. I didn't take it and go party. I didn't take it and go have sex. I would take it and go home. Whether if it was me laying down, whether if it was me cooking, whether it was me cleaning. I just wanted to be in the comfort of my own space. But in the midst of it, the energy between me and my son's relationship changed, because the mother he once had, he didn't have. But in the midst of my addiction, I didn't see this. I wasn't paying attention because I was selfish. All I wanted was to suppress the way I felt, any struggles, any depression, any hurt. I wanted that to go away. And them pain pills made it. Nope, I wasn't in pain no more. I was in pain emotionally, mentally, but I wasn't physically in pain. And what I mean by it affected me and my son. So just imagine your mother. Every year we at least going on 2 or 3 trips, whether it's to Cedar Point, whether we driving down to Indiana to go see family, whether I just wake up and be like, you know what, we just about to go to a hotel and go swimming. All that changed. And my son just his energy from just asking me, so what we doing this weekend, Mom? And I'm just like, nothing. I'm off work. I just want to stay in the house. You get what I'm saying? You picture that? Yeah. So he began to get depressed. And his dad was still in his life. But I wasn't paying attention. I started to pay attention when COVID hit and everything changed. And what I mean by everything changed, those $6, $7 pills I used to get, now they $20 and $25. So now I'm spending more money and I'm becoming behind on bills. I can't enjoy life with my son anymore because I'm picking opioids over us. But I didn't care then. I got it, because being selfish. And where it hit home for me is when my son started acting out in different ways, getting kicked out of school every week. Just the way, the consistency of the structure I built for him his whole life, meaning coming in the house, he knew to do his chores, homework, then he can go outside, all this just stopping. It got to the point where I barely even wanted to cook.
Mm-hmm.
Just the whole dynamic of my household just changed. And it was just him and I. And then I just couldn't afford it anymore. And I don't know if you guys ever been addicted to anything. Battling with that, knowing that you want to stop, knowing that you need to stop, praying about it, fighting yourself about it, but you just can't, was the worst thing I ever been through in my life. One of the worst things I ever been through in my life, because I'm praying and I'm asking God to please help me, but I still wanted that feeling. I still wanted to get high, but I wanted to stop because I'm destroying myself. I couldn't even.
Take your time. Take your time.
Opioids make you constipated.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be weeks I would go without using the bathroom.
Mm.
I remember going to the ER one time trying to get more pain medication. And they did an x-ray on me, or MRI. I believe it was an x-ray. And in that x-ray, they could see the...
How impacted you were.
Wow.
And I still didn't care. All I wanted was my pain medication. You get what I'm saying? But the doctor was afraid to give it to me because she knew something was wrong. But these are things that I had to go through, and get through. But then I knew I really needed to change. So I just went to the hospital I work at. And I said, I need help.
Mm.
Yet I'm going through this addiction for years, still going around my family, still hair done, nails done. So everybody think I'm just maintaining very well.
Right.
How
Yeah,
many
we know
years?
she a
How
little,
many?
she taking and she using, but she doing well. But deep inside, I was dying.
How many
I
How
years was
many
wanted
Lamar?
someone
years?
to help me.
How many
Huh?
years were you? How many years would you say that you were
I
addicted?
think total of four,
Okay.
maybe 4.5.
So
Yeah,
so for 4.5 years, you would say that you were a functioning addict.
absolutely. Going to work every day. Um, I lost a few people in my life, relationship wise, but I didn't care, you know. I So I turned myself into a hospital. Went to the hospital, I'm sorry, and I explained my story. Short, it kind of short from what I'm telling you guys, and they admired my strength. They were proud of me. About 3 doctors came in, 2 recovering addict coaches, a nurse, and they come in there and they said, "We're so proud of you. This is the first step." I remember the first time. This time, I went through that process, and then I think I relapsed maybe 3 weeks later. But when I relapsed, I could think better, and I'm like, okay, you just got that pain medication for what? Now I'm starting to think a little better. I'm like, you really don't need this no more. You don't. You know you don't. Just stop. So I went back to the hospital. And they made me feel so confident. They was just like, it's okay. You know how many times addicts come in here and they try that, you're okay? Because I felt stupid. I'm like, I just came here maybe a month ago. Now I'm back. That second time, that was the time for me, and I went into a outreach program where you have to drop weekly, and you have to do groups 2 times out of the week, and you have to do therapy, counseling, and all this. I said, I'm going to do it because I am tired. I'm tired. I was tired. I was on the verge of losing my house. And while God began to work on me, the devil said, nope, we ain't letting you off. We ain't letting you off. That's too easy. And then something else happened. I'd rather not even talk about this, but I may have to because I have to release.
Well, listen, if you're not comfortable divulging your information, don't do it. What I will say is this. I'm going to chime in and give you a break.
Thank
my
you.
life has been, similar to what it is that you've experienced. Not as the individual who was addicted to the narcotic, but the individual who was the son. I literally lived your son's life,
Okay.
but mine was a little more traumatic. So my mother had me at a very young age, and my mom backstage still, right?
Yep, she's still there.
Hello,
I hope you don't take offense to this, me divulging your information. Well,
No.
it's mine as well, but it's not to be injurious to you in any way, form, or fashion.
Okay.
My mother had me when she was 12.
Oh.
So she was a child. And my mother
Right.
had, she went through the process of not understanding what love is, how to feel love, how to give love. And it took for me to get to a certain place in life to understand what she went through. My mother
Wow.
was addicted, to crack cocaine.
Okay.
The majority of my life. She's literally just recently gotten clean. She's been clean, various times here and there during the process. I'm 44. Well, I'll be
Okay.
44 on Wednesday. And
Happy
we
early birthday.
literally, thank you, we literally just started back communicating. And
How long
it's
were you not communicating?
years, years. It
Years.
would,
Oh,
it
wow.
would be, I talked to her, maybe a year or two, and then I wouldn't talk to her for 3 or 4 or 5 years. She would constantly reach out to me, and it got to a point where the pain I was dealing with was so heavy on me that I just told her, hey, listen, my life is better not hearing from you. I'd rather love you and not know you than to know you and to deal with the pain of loving you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I can imagine that it probably took her through some
Yeah.
highs and lows and some thought processes,
Yeah.
but like I say, I reach out and I appreciate you and give you your flowers because I understand. I understand, and hearing other people's perspective and someone being as passionate about it gives me an opportunity to understand it from a woman's perspective. So I
Absolutely.
can be empathetic to what my mother may have went through,
Yeah.
you know. So again, I'm just gonna say I appreciate you. It is
Thank
an
you.
amazing journey to I hate to say redemption, but it's an amazing journey to attempt perfection. Something you're never
Absolutely.
gonna get, you know. And I I really want my mom to come up and speak because her story is amazing. It's amazing.
I
You know what I mean?
understand. I get it.
Ask her
I
if she
hope
ready
she
to come
does
up.
come and speak.
Ask her that she is she ready to come up?
No,
Uh
she gotta speak when she ready.
yeah, it's a thing for her, man. She needs to be because she's going through a journey of healing. So
Yeah.
she
Yeah,
needs to be in a
yeah.
very comfortable and safe place. and I need her to be
Yeah.
okay with being in that place. Because I ain't been the greatest son. I'm not gonna lie and say I've been the greatest son. I've been that kid who was angry and wondering, like, what the fuck is the love at? Why don't you love me? And I didn't understand what she was going through because I was caught up in what the hell I was going through.
Right.
You know, once I learned empathy, then I'm able to get to a place to try and understand what she was going through. So I just need her to
understand. Easy, and that was a stronger drug. So I could just imagine the struggle she probably went through emotionally and physically, you know. Yeah, I hope I can't speak with her.
You know, it's been
but I know I didn't let it get any worse. I'm sorry.
It's been an amazing journey. You know, it's not over. It kind of feel like we at the intermission of the journey. You know what I mean? And I'm just hoping that there's going to be many, many more miles to go.
I believe it's been a year. It's been a year and a few months since I've been clean, and I don't even praise myself enough.
Congratulations.
I don't even.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's up until when I think about it, and that's when I may cry, and I just started going to church maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. The best thing I could have ever done, and I'm like, I don't give myself enough credit because that was hard, and I was just on opioids. I could just imagine if I was on a stronger, even. I'm sorry that I opened the window. I'm so sorry if you guys heard that. But I could just imagine if I was on an even stronger drug, you know what I mean? But I remember laying in the bed and saying to myself, I do not want to continue like this. And I didn't grew relationships with the pill man. They giving them to me sometimes just because they knew I was gonna pay them on Friday. Like, I can give you 10 a day. Just make sure you look out on Friday. That's just how bad it was for me, especially when the prices went up. But I'm clean. I don't even think about it no more, you know. And now I can share the story with my son. He's 17 and he understands me more. Because when things started to shift and change in our household, he didn't understand then. He just wanted his mama back. You know, this is not my mama. Whoever this person is, I want my mama back. And every day I'm telling my son, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Because in my addiction, my son started smoking weed.
Yeah.
It could have been worse. It could have been something else, but he started smoking weed, and this is something I'm dealing with now because I want him to stop. I want him to stop because that's what's affecting him. But all the teenagers is doing it, but I don't want my son doing it because now he feels like he needs it in the morning when he wake up. He needs it in the afternoon, and he needs it to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And
he's using it to cope.
So it's like, huh?
No, I say he's using it to cope. You know,
absolutely.
To cope with every day.
And I know this. So I got him into the YMCA. I got him into the Teen Hype. I got him into a youth council program. Every program there is here, my son is in it. Because I'm trying to redirect his focus. I'm trying to save my son. You get what I'm saying? Because my son has made it to 17 and he hasn't murdered anybody. He hasn't robbed a bank. He has not hurt anyone. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if I could just hold on to that for a few more years until he's a young adult, I feel like I accomplished something. Because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm winging it like I never had parents. I doubt myself. I battle with myself with that.
Yeah.
And I'm being the mother and the father at the same time.
Do me a favor.
If you smoke a little weed, that's what it was in the beginning. Because I'm like, it's all right. Go ahead. And I wish I wouldn't have did that.
Miko, I don't wanna, stop your flow.
Yes.
First, L, you can bring my mom up. She ready.
Okay.
And I'm also going to say this. You're never going to be the father. You're only going to be the best mother that you can be. What's up, Mom?
Hello.
Auntie.
How you doing, man?
Beautiful to see you.
How you doing, beautiful?
There you go.
That's my mom. I don't know if you got your mic on.
Beautiful.
All right. Well,
No, if I
Okay.
can't
You know
hear.
what, Mom? You know what you're gonna have to do, Mom? Go back out like I told you before. Go back to the message and come back in, and we'll be able to hear you. It's doing that because we was on the phone.
oh, okay.
So just hit
It's
the
on.
leave button and come back.
Bro, I
Okay.
know we're having a great mood here, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Thank you guys for letting me break down. I needed that.
Hey, shit, by the end of this, you might see my big ass break down.
Okay, I'm going to mute my chat. I'll be right back. If I hit the chat,
Shit.
will that cancel me out from you guys?
If you hit the what?
How do I
The
look?
chat.
I don't look crazy, do I?
You
I
all
don't know.
right.
I don't think it'll
You
cancel you out.
okay?
Cancel you out. You can hit the chat and then you can still come back.
Okay.
But are you muting? Are you
Oh,
gonna
here we
turn?
go. There we go. There we
There
go.
you go. Just
Can
turn
you
your
hear me
camera
now?
on. We
Can you
hear
hear
you
me
now,
now?
Ma.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes,
Yep.
ma'am. Yes,
You all
ma'am.
can see me too. You all can
Just
see
tell
me
your.
too.
We see you, Ma. I see you playing with your hair and everything. Just go ahead and I know this technology thing is new to you and shit. Just go on and tell your story.
Yeah. So it's new. It's new. So where do I start?
Wherever you want to
What
start, you can start
start with? How about I
the
just?
beginning.
How about I
You want to
just
start from
start?
conceiving me. You want to start from your childhood with Nene. I mean,
I'm going to start
Well,
with.
first of all, let's let everybody give a round of applause for showing up because
Yeah,
we've been waiting on
beautiful.
you
Yeah, we've been
for
waiting on mine. We've been waiting on mine.
3 months now.
Yes,
Get on
yes.
here. So
Thank you.
we're so glad to have you here.
So
Amen.
glad.
Amen.
damn, why you curse me with that big ass nose? My God.
Okay. So how about I
Before
just
you go,
start?
do you know who, ma'am? Do you know who Umar Johnson is?
No, she
Who?
don't. Nah, motherfucker. Nah, motherfucker.
You know
Go.
who Junkyard Dog is, right?
Uh-uh.
We're gonna stop clowning. Okay. We're gonna stop. All right.
Go ahead, Mike. The floor
We're
is
gonna,
yours. Do your thing.
Please.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start with where that sister go. She left out.
no,
No, she's still
she's
there.
still
She
in.
just
She's
Yep,
still
I'm
in.
here. I just got
Oh,
back.
oh, amen.
How
So
you doing, Queen?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed and highly favored in you.
I know that's right.
So I just want to start. I want to start with where God is actually healing me right now, and this is where it's beginning. When I was 12 years old, I got pregnant. I was taken advantage of at a young age. One time, hymen never broke, still a virgin. My mom was like hardcore. She didn't care. She never wanted me. She always expressed that to me that she never wanted me. And when a child memory was to remember, begin to store memory, my mother
Yes.
would never forget that she never wanted me. And she did everything in her life to abort me. So, like I dealt with that for a while, you know what I'm saying? But I after I was I guess um me and we my mom just never wanted me, so I kind of like shut down at the age of 12. Once I
Right.
got found out I was pregnant, I shut down. And how even though I was moving along with time, you know, I had my life was about money. It began with because money was never a problem for me. So I I
well, give a little bit about your background, Ma. You know, about my dad. Not my dad, my granddad. You know what I mean? You know, and his lifestyle and the lifestyle of our family.
okay. So at the I okay, all right. So you said that so when
So
mom met
here's what I'll do. I'll do it for you. I'll help you out. So we
all right,
our family was known drug dealers. That's what the family
Okay.
did. Everybody in the family sold dope. My granddaddy sold dope. My grandmama sold dope. You know what I'm saying? Everybody sold dope.
That's
You
all
know what I
you
mean?
ever knew.
That's all we knew was hustle, street hustling. You know what I mean? And my mother got it way before I did.
Right.
My granddad was a pimp named Slickback type guy, which is her father.
Okay.
But go ahead, go ahead, ma.
Go ahead. That just tickled your soul.
A pimp named Flickback.
Listening to how he, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know where to go from there though. Just go ahead, son. You good.
Okay, how did you end up getting pregnant? Like, was it someone you just met that was in the neighborhood?
Oh, what happened was, see, even though my mom them did the drug thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't. I've never known my mom and my father to sell drugs. Only my father sold weed. He sold pounds of weed. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Was always into until saying till the peel hustle came out of pharmacies, you know what I'm saying, and then he went to prison after that, and he never did nothing that like too crazy, but my mom started using heroin, and I remember one day at the age of 12, she was working. She always worked. And
Okay.
it was one time that she wasn't working. Um, she was once a probation officer or something. Anyway, every time she would want to go out, every time we got to school, we had to do homework and our chores. And after that, if we could go outside, we never could go outside. Because if she didn't have time before it was time for her to go to work, we couldn't go outside. So we would
Right.
have to stay in. We couldn't answer the door for nobody or nothing. She'd give us a ring code. We didn't answer the phone. We didn't do nothing. So she met this guy. I call him Papa Grumpy. That's my Papa Grumpy. That she married her husband. His bro-
Okay.
his brother came by one day and looking for them. And my brother's name was looking out the window. I had two brothers then. My brother Al and me was looking out the window watching their friends play on and stuff. And they was talking. So when they seen him was coming up, they got out the. They was like, "Well, he already see us." You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? I said, "No, mama, you ain't supposed to be in the window. No way. Nobody's supposed to know."
Right.
But anyway, so we never let him in. We didn't let him in that day. We no, that at that moment, but somehow he
Now,
got into around what?
you were the
What'd you say?
eldest of your siblings. You were the eldest of all of your siblings, correct?
That's correct. We had to stay in. I had to cook dinner and all that stuff,
At
and give
12?
at 12, yeah, give them a bath, and you know what I'm saying. We say our prayers, and then I put them to bed, and then I say go take my bath, say my prayers, and go to bed. And you know what I'm saying. That was, and that's how it was, and
You
mom
grew
would
up
call.
fast.
Yeah, until my mom would call back. So one day he came back that same day and told everybody, oh, I just talked to him. Oh, let me come. We like, nah, Al no. By that time, Al no, like, let him in. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't heard from my mama. My mama didn't make that call, and so we called her, and she never made that call. So we didn't know what happened. We was all scared and stuff. Like, mama ain't back. Like, what we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, and so he kept checking on us because I guess he thought I was fast. You know what I'm saying? My mother always fast but not hot now. And so my brother Slim was like, they opened the door somehow and let him in because he tricked them, telling them that he had my mom and them on the phone, and they was like, oh, let me speak to her, let me speak to her. Ow. Let me speak to her then. And as soon as he opened the door, he like, no, nah, he ain't there. Dang, hello, you there? You there? He passed the phone like, here you go, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I got in. And he just took advantage of me. Like
Mm.
he just took advantage of me. After I gave my brothers and them they bath and stuff, he waited around. I was like, I gotta put my brothers to bed. We got to bed. Like you gotta leave. You're not supposed to be in no way and stuff. He kept, telling us that, oh, well, don't worry about it. I just talked to them. They say they're on their way or whatever have you. And I was like nervous and scared, like, oh my God, we gonna get beat. My mom gonna kill us, man. What I'm saying?
And that's when you virginity.
Huh?
That's when you broke your virginity, got pregnant with your son.
I Yeah, I not yeah, I didn't break nothing. He just took advantage of me. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
I wasn't trying to do nothing. I was playing with baby
Right.
dolls, baby. I wasn't thinking about no brothers for real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, were
Just took
you?
advantage of me, and the fact that his penis was so small, he did not break my hymen. It was still intact. So literally, I was still a virgin.
Damn, man, you don't talk about my daddy like that.
Oh Lord, I hear that. I hear you. I want to know. So I want to know what age were you when
I
you
thought that was
started
impossible.
using
Uh,
drugs?
um, actually, I was 21. I was
Oh.
21
I was 21. Yeah, I was
when you
20
started.
when I started smoking crack pot. Well, when I tried freebasing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I was
Where were you
So,
mentally? Where were you at in life that made you want to go in that direction and
well,
start using?
let's back up a little bit. How
Okay.
were you introduced into drugs, man?
Mm.
my dad introduced me into it. I went to Joliet Junior College. First, I went off the Job Corps because I didn't want to graduate. I went to my senior year, and they was like, we don't want. I went to a Catholic, East Catholic. Nobody want to let me out, but so I left, and my dad. I came back on spring break. Me and my dad used to ride. We used to go skating. Like my dad was the guy, you know. My mom was always tripping, but he introduced me to when on that spring break.
And when you say
I
introduce,
ain't been. It's been time.
when you
Yeah, he
say
introduced it to
introduce,
me.
he handed it to you. He said, "Try
He
this."
put baby. I'm telling you, right before I got ready to go back off of spring break, back to school, he sent his girl out. They went and got the little bowl. I'll never forget the bowl that he gave me, how it looked. Did when I came into the room, like, oh my God. He's like, I was like, when we gonna kick it? He was like, we gonna kick it, we gonna kick it. So like, he came out the room after she went to the store and everything, and she came back, they talked or whatever. He called my name, said, in order for us to kick it, baby, your daddy on another in another world now. You know what I'm saying? Not in that world. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, what? You don't have to come out. I was like, what's
You
your
breaking
world
up a
then?
little bit, man.
So he told me I had to come into his world. That was the way he introduced me. He said I had to come into his world. And I asked him what was his world. And he said, come into the bedroom. When I went to the bedroom, it looked like a chemist up in there. I'm talking about test tube, the cookers, the burners, you know what I'm saying? Things that I had never seen. Juice jars, Everclear juice jars, broken because the rock was so big they couldn't get it out. And which today, now that I used to smoke, all they had to do was chisel it out. That they didn't even have the mentality to chisel it out with something. They just broke jars. And I mean, the carpet brand new navy blue. I mean, so much crap on the
Wow.
floors. I was like, I never ever, and I would hear his girl vacuum that she had a vacuum, brand new vacuum cleaner, and all she did was vacuum her bedroom, all the white crack. If I tell you, that's how they was doing it. So when he showed me that, I was like, so how you do this? Like what you do to this, and he showed me what to do. Nearly killed me. I was like, I don't know if I want to try that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if I want to try that. that, but I was 21 though. I don't know
Yeah.
if I want to try that, Dad. And he was like, "Oh, you know what I'm saying? Well, this is the only way you're gonna be able to kick it in and relate to me is if you're in
So
my
when you
world."
were
So
now
I
you
tried
addicted
it.
to it. Your father didn't need, when you were, did he ever try to help you
I
kick
never,
it?
you know what? Let me. Nah. He died. He died. He ended
Oh,
up dying or
okay.
whatever. How you? But I moved away and everything. No. My uncle was the only one that came at my rescue when, you know what I'm saying. Like when I moved, I came back. I didn't like it when I tried it with my dad. I didn't like it. I did it that little time and I never did it again until I was like 23. And when I turned
Oh,
23,
so from
I
21, you
tried.
never did it again until you were
No, I
23
never
years
did
old?
it. I was 23. I was 23 when I tried it again. And when I tried it again, I got the high that my daddy couldn't explain what the feel of it was, and because I was asking him, "How's it supposed to make you feel? Am I gonna get hooked? Like my mom on heroin? He was like, "No, Daddy would never give you nothing. You can get hooked off of. It's you just gotta have a strong mind, and you got a strong mind, Tita. That's why I'm giving this to you and stuff like that." And so, like
Wow.
I never was addicted to it. I can't say like I don't know. I don't. When I say addicted, I wasn't one to go out and you know what I'm saying. Like I did my thing, but I didn't go out stealing for it. I didn't go out tricking for it. I ain't gonna even
Okay.
lie. You understand? Like
Okay.
it
You
was
wasn't out
all
there like that. Okay.
nah. I always had money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because my thing was money in the very beginning. So money and drugs have never. I've always had plenty of it, and I looked out for everybody to the point to whereas when I went to New York, just crazy. My life
How long have
was
you
so
been
crazy.
clean?
Almost a year now. I fell off one time since I've been back in Virginia. When I went to New York, my husband is dying of cancer, and he has cancer in the last stages. But I fell off. And how long ago that's been, baby? Like I've been back about what? About 3 months. About 3 months. About three months ago, I fell off, and when I fell off, I said, "Lord, I'm trying to tell you, I'm hard and like." And talk to Sterling, who like God bless me, and I got back to Virginia, and I never looked back, and but
Absolutely.
the feeling that I felt when I did it that last time, it was like nah, like
Yeah. That's
like
how it
it was
was for
like
me.
I could not. It was like not ever, like this will never ever happen to me ever again. Like I am done with this life. I am done with anything from my past, any type of anything like. And so God brought me to. I thought that I was healed. I thought that all that I went through, you know what I'm saying, the change of life, living from state to state, all the traveling, all the money, and all the money. Like if I tell you that high was so like, like I guess the spiritual side of it is what overwhelmed me to
Okay,
get
Ma.
through smoking. What?
So let me say this to you. I could have never understood
Oh, Sterling said
what
it
it.
was. No, it was 5 months since I fell off, and I ain't fell off and not thinking about it ever. Yep.
Okay, well, listen. I never understood what it was that you went through as a young adult. Being introduced to drugs by your parent, and I couldn't have understood it until I became a parent and
Hmm.
understanding, the way I feel about my children and how I would never do anything to harm them. Everything about me is to edify them and build them.
Amen.
So, I owe you an apology, and I'm going to give that to you publicly.
Oh,
You know what
amen.
I mean? Um,
That's amazing.
Amen.
I
Amen.
I just don't know how to imagine, somebody taking their child through that. and it kind of gives me some insight into how or why you weren't able to give me what I felt I needed and desired. Well, what I desired, what I know I needed and I desired. You just wasn't in a place to be able to do it. So the apology that I'm giving you is not because I didn't receive it, it's because I didn't know. I didn't know. I couldn't
Yeah.
understand it.
Amen. I received that, son. Thank you. Thank you.
For sure.
Thank
But
you.
go ahead, continue.
But like due to the fact that my I smoked drugs with my parents, both of them, I
I can't hear you.
that the smoking
Her,
that I
her
literally
internet is a little
mama.
spotty. Hold on. You gonna
Okay,
have to
I hear
start.
you now.
Huh.
You gonna have to start
I
over,
didn't
my
hear you. Can you repeat that?
due to the fact that you use drugs with both of your parents. Go ahead.
I said due to the fact that I used drugs with both of my parents, I would never ever pass a blunt with none of my children. Like I would never give my children drugs. I would, like even, like Tierra, like all my children, the ones that smoke weed, we could never pass a blunt. You know what I'm
Yeah.
Hey,
saying?
that's
It
crazy. Let me
you know
stop
what
you
I'm saying?
right there, my. Let me stop you right there. And just to attest to what you said, I remember when I came to visit you in St. Louis, and at
Uh-huh.
that time I was a heavy weed smoker. When I say heavy, I probably smoked an ounce or two a day. I smoked.
Wow.
I was a smoker. You feel me? And she never once. She would never, ever, ever hit a blunt with me. She was
Really?
always, nah, I'm gonna smoke my weed and you gonna smoke your weed, but we ain't smoking shit together. You feel me? Like
I
that's
know
that's
that's
one of the
right.
memories. That's one of the memories that I do have. But go ahead and
Yeah.
continue, ma.
So I refuse to, do anything with my children, or if I have to go in the closet in a bedroom or something and do drugs, when they were there, I just didn't do them because
You didn't do it around them.
I don't do closed doors. I can't do no confined closed doors. Like, see, when I grew up, my mom and them go behind the door to shoot drugs, and when they come out, they be acting strange and different. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
Papa Grumpy get the busting TVs and they get to fighting, and he nod. My mama, I never seen her nod ever one time in her whole drug history. I never seen her nod. She never OD'd. I never seen her OD or
And you
nothing
said
like.
she was doing heroin.
Yeah, she was doing heroin. She was doing heroin. Like I
So let me give you some little insight into my grandmother. You know
Okay.
what I mean? And I'm really telling a lot about my life is kind of something that I don't do. I don't like doing it, but for the sake of my mom and for what we're trying to create here, I'm going to indulge a little bit. My grandmother was addicted to alcohol, pills,
Okay.
heroin, crack. What? That's about everything that I know for sure that she was doing.
Wow.
yeah. So like but anyway, due to the fact that I did I started smoking reefer. My dad gave me my first joint. My dad gave me my first ever drug. Yeah.
Everything you
what you
ever tried, he was the
what you
first one
what
to
you call
give
it,
you.
Anything
ma?
that I tried, my dad, he gave me a joint, you know what I'm saying, and crack. That was it. I never
Ma,
took the pills. You know what I'm saying, huh?
ma, what you call it? What you said? What you call it? What you call it? What reefer?
Yeah.
That's what they used to call it back in the day.
Reaper.
Yeah. But that's it. Those are the only two drugs that I've ever done. And I smoked so much reefer to the point to I when I got like in my 20s, I was like, nah, I can't. If I want to graduate, I can't keep smoking this weed. So like I didn't really smoke weed that much. You know what I'm saying? Every now and again. But today I've been living sober. For a minute. and it feels so good to whereas like every now and again I might take a drink or something, but I don't even like to drink really. I be sipping I be about I want to
Me
sleep
neither.
or whatever.
I sip my wine.
Yeah, I do the wine in a major way. I do the wine, but yeah,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I do.
No, thank you so
Yeah,
much
I
for
do. But
sharing your
every
story.
that,
I know one of my
yeah,
sisters, one of my oldest sisters, I think she's 55, but when she used to be addicted to I believe crack. And
yeah,
this is one of my strongest sisters. I look up to her, I admire her strength. I learned so much from her. But when she was younger, she was addicted to crack. And the help and how she got help, she called CPS on herself, and she knew that that was going to
really,
straighten her up because her kids meant everything to her. And not only did they did take the kids, what they did was they got her so much help to where every month when her checks came in, they took it, they divided, basically was giving her allowance and making sure she was doing the right things, amongst other things, going to get professional help and so forth. But
yeah,
I shared my story with her, and she shared that with me, and I couldn't believe it. So
yeah.
we kind of
Well,
feed off each
like
other. Even though I'm the baby sister, they say they get so much strength from me, and that blows my mind because I'm the baby of 14 children. I admire them, and I get so much strength from my older siblings, especially my sisters. And I admire that. I admire your strength, you know. And I know I just only use opioids, but for me,
nah,
that was one
it's
of the hardest things in my life I ever had to go through. And I battled,
wow,
I literally would cuss God out. You
wow.
hear me? Because
I
I'm
saw
like,
I get money for that. I sold them. I sold them. I got grip for them. True story. I
yeah,
got opioids is no joke. I thank God that like I guess He knew that I would never be able to take a down or whatever. But like I just want to say that the fact that I stopped growing at the age of 12, you know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't give none of my children the love that or to be a mother for them because I never had it. You know what I'm saying? Like I
right.
was years old and now that that I don't, like it's I'm just not growing up. Like I'm still a little girl.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
I'm actually
You
still
doing drugs
sometimes
stripped
I
so
feel
much of
like
your life from you.
yeah,
You get
sometimes
it,
I
it
feel
took
like
so
I'm
much
still
from
like
you.
like who's the parent? Like, it's like, are you the parent, not me? You know what I'm saying? Like, like I'm like, wow, like, dang, I'm really like really. Let me tell you that this. I'm just gonna put it like this. My guy gonna say, oh, you was that kid that used to be on in the what I call like back in the days in the trailer park. He said, "Oh, you used to be in the trailer house. You used to be in the trailer house right there by the school. Like you gotta wait for you was one with the I said, what's the trailer house? So they said with the retarded kids, they stand there and tell all the kids they got sense, and then they let you go to class and stuff, and you be peeking all through the window. Right. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I think from that point on, I said, okay, God, now I gotta grow up. Like, like I'm
Absolutely.
growing up. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And I'm not even ashamed of it. Like it feel good. It feel good. I'm just literally
absolutely.
growing
It's
up,
your testimony.
growing in the spirit.
That's what's
Yeah,
up, man.
I'm
I'm
growing
glad.
in the spirit.
We really
You.
proud of you. We are, and I thank you for, I spoke to you once. What was that, back in December? Maybe
Yeah,
we talked to back in December. And
yeah.
I'm so glad you came around. To coming on and talking to us, because we wanted you to
Yeah.
feel that we have so much love for you, and
Amen.
and my father actually died from. Oh, we lost her. Gotta
Her
get her right.
phone probably messed up. She probably the
Yeah,
phone
probably
probably
died or
died.
something.
Yeah, probably did.
Well,
Ooh, T,
Is
you
there
lucky,
anything else you guys want to
you got
ask me?
lucky T.
hey man, listen, bro, it's been a long time coming, man. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? At least you
yeah.
know the story, and Dr. Ari, you definitely know the story, man. You done lived shit 12 years of it with me.
But Miko, thank you so much.
Yes.
Look at you, like immersing yourself into this podcast thing. Thank you so much for coming on. I mean, like seriously, your son. I'm still trying to think of this word that
Thank
just
you for having me. Yeah, you've been cutting his hair for years.
yeah, and
Yeah, now you can't
I
tell him
never
nothing. He
knew.
lost his weight. He fit. Got him a
Yeah,
girlfriend.
yeah. And I can say this. I can say this because you have come in a few times, and I never would have imagined that you were going through what you were going through. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Seeing you, you always were you always were well kept. You kept yourself up, carried yourself well, and you know what
Thank
I'm
you.
saying. And so, no, it is beautiful to see tragedy um, overcome by triumph. And
Yes.
that's what I love to see that. And I'm me
Thank you.
myself, like we just gave T Mother a hand. I want to give you a hand too for coming on here and
Thank you guys. Thank you so
sharing
much
with
for
us yours.
having me. Thank you for letting me tell my story. I know I was watching you on TikTok. And
Yes.
like I told you, I was just like, I'm thinking about doing a podcast, but I want to get my feet wet. I want to know if this is for me. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So I said, can you have me on there? And you made it happen. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you. I am free if you ever want me to come back on here, just to get my feet wet some more
Yeah.
and tune in with you guys, have conversations with you about men and stuff. But I am
Yeah.
looking to do this in the near future. So thank you guys for having me.
We would
We
Thank
love to.
appreciate you. We appreciate you. I promise you one thing for sure and two for certain. You'll get to come back on some other conversations, and they won't be as nice as this one. This shit get a little, this shit get a little visceral over here.
Actually, I don't know if you know who Dr. Ray Wimbush is. We're not gonna
The
do
name
nothing.
sounds familiar though.
Yeah, he has a book out. He has many books, but one of the books that he has that I like was a big fan of and still a big fan of is the Warrior Method. He's been on Oprah and like Donahue and stuff like that back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And he's really involved. In fact, one of his students is the director Coogler. I think he taught Coogler, the dude who did Black Panther.
Oh,
That's what,
okay.
yeah,
No, I
Ryan
don't know
Coogler.
who that is, but the name sounds familiar. I'll look into
Yeah,
it though.
yeah. He's gonna be on the 6th with us. We're actually gonna be talking about. I want to make sure I get this topic.
Six. I gotta look at my calendar.
The topic right. And where are we? The topic is why are black men perpetual targets of disdain communally, societally, and nationally, even globally? So we're talking about that because um, at this, for so long, even during slavery and even after slavery, black men have always been the target of a lot of hatred. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like I said, go with the 1915 D.W. Griffin's um, Birth of a Nation, where that was the central focus of that movie was black men and our our sexual prowess or our raging sexual nature. So that's something that I really wanted to discuss. And if you want to be a part of that discussion, you're welcome. Definitely.
Thank you. I'm
You
looking
know,
forward to. I'm gonna have to read up on some stuff, but
yeah, yeah. I
I'm
mean, so
available.
and we are always looking for looking to ally with our sisters because it's seemingly our sisters are like annexing themselves from us, and we don't want that. That's not
Absolutely.
something that we look for.
You.
Yeah. Well, somebody
I
was going
will
to say,
make myself available.
okay.
Speak for yourself.
keep in touch, and I will join. Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
He
But
said that you guys won't be, it won't be so nice. I know he been told me that.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it
He
get
thought I
real
was
in
gonna
the
come on
field.
here tonight and argue. I said I have
Yeah, I
nothing.
did. I said, look, if you come on here with some type of agenda,
No,
like
just wanted to
not
share
tonight.
my story and get my
Yeah.
feet wet. That is the goal.
Like
That is the motive, nothing
Definitely
else.
did that. You definitely did that, and you also freed, Auntie to come
Yeah,
on.
you
Right?
did.
That was
Did.
trying to get her to
like
come on,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I
I'm
I
so
I,
sure
I literally
you helped my brother too.
literally was like when he told me, I was like, oh no, I can't do it without my mom. Like I
Absolutely.
got to have my mom.
yeah.
Like this
Yeah,
is
he
the
that's the
subject
thing
for it.
he
This is
said.
her.
That's the thing he said when I told him that you were coming on. The brother was like, "Man, I got to get my mother on here," and I didn't say it to you. I didn't say it to you. I didn't want to put that
Right.
pressure on you, or what I'm saying, make you feel uncomfortable about your first time coming on here. But I wanted to see how it would work itself out, and
Yeah.
he would be able to listen. And when he had her on listening, when I seen her in the room, I said, "Okay, it's working." I just want to let her, What then he said, just let her listen in. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to let you work your magic. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Just let you
I
work
kind
your
of
magic.
appreciate it. It made me feel even more comfortable
Oh,
because
Yeah,
beautiful.
being on here with just men, which
Yes.
is not an issue, but that
yeah,
just made me feel even more comfortable and having someone that has experienced what I have
yeah,
experienced. You know what I mean? So that
yeah.
felt good. That was actually great for
And
me. And
don't
that
and
made
don't
me
feel
stop
bad.
crying.
Yeah, don't feel bad because my mother was a functioning alcoholic, and my father died from his heroin addiction. Back in
Mhm.
back
That
in
had to be the
2003.
thing back then.
It
Yeah, back
was.
in 2003. Yeah, it was. It was. I mean, I remember seeing. I was dating a girl, um, and she had family that would just you walk up on the porch, you see them motherfuckers like zombies, just nodding
Just
like, right
out.
there. Yeah,
As
I mean,
as long as I can remember, and I literally mean this, as long as I can remember, that's
That's
all I've
one
ever
woman
seen
I
was
wish I
drugs.
would have been able to meet was my mother. Because I'm
Mm,
trying,
uh,
I got one. She had 14, 15. I'm, I'm still struggling with just this one. And I wish I was able to meet her. And that was her era. But my sisters, my brothers told me, although my mom had all these children, she never touched a drug. Well, she
so
probably could because she was always pregnant, but she never did. And I
uh,
just wish I could talk to her, And the only person that was close to her that I never met is my oldest sibling, my oldest brother. He's in prison. I'm 36. He's been in there 36 years. And if I'm
wow,
not mistaken, he's supposed to come home next year.
oh wow,
wow.
He gonna come out here and be scared. He gonna he
yeah,
gonna want to go right back.
Yeah,
no,
he gonna
I,
come out
I,
like a Disney movie, a whole new world.
Listen, he gonna come out here and be like, what? I want to go back.
yeah,
But that sibling, my oldest brother, that's the one that knows more about my mother than any of my other siblings. And I want to talk to him on so many levels because my sisters always look at me and be like, you remind me so much of mom. You
yeah,
act just like mom. You do this just like mom.
yeah.
But that one, he was the one that lived with her and seen so much and seen what she been through. So
And
maybe I
you
can
know
get
what?
more insight.
I want to say this. I want to say this because I was thinking about it. Um, First of all, how old was you? How old were you when you said your mother passed before you were one,
I was
and when your father passed?
she died before I was one.
Okay, and your
My
father
father
passed
before she was two.
before you was okay.
It was shortly after my mom. So I'm
Okay.
before I was two. I have to speak to my sisters. It's been so long since I even spoke on
Yes.
it. But if from my
Yeah.
understanding, my father passed before I was 2 years old. And I think he passed away from drinking, I believe. Yeah. My
Um.
mother had an brain a brain aneurysm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Stress. I believe that's what it was. And whew,
I've
36
lived through one
years.
of
And I
those.
tell my son, I said, I'm winging it. I said, this don't come with no manual. I'm doing the best I can. So when people applaud me and they say your son is this and this and that, it makes me feel good, because sometimes I don't step out of myself and see the good that I have done, because I'm always on them. I'm always trying to elevate him. I'm always trying to motivate him. I'm trying to get, even with his dad walking out his life, I'm trying to make a positive out of that. I'm like, maybe he's fighting his demons and he can't be in your life right now, you know, but
Yep.
he want his daddy.
I want to put an offer on the table, okay? I want to put an offer on the table. Now I'm pretty sure these brothers would join in this with me, because we did a show where we had our children on that we were estranged from for a while. Well, Mr. T didn't. He was trying to actually get his mother on during that show.
Okay.
That was the show. But Dr. and I had I had my son on, and Dr. had two of the children on. And we talked about us being estranged and coming back together, right? So I would love if we could, between your son and his father, if we could get them to come on here and try to, broker that amending offenses between those two. No, seriously, because I think what would happen is, I'm just seeing, sort of a big picture type thing. Maybe, we can help the brother see his importance in his son's life, and
Right.
help, the young man, feel, because sometimes when your father is gone, and I know this, what I'm saying, I know Mr. T probably know this as well. You're off balance. Your confidence is shaking. You feel like you're
You're
being
just
pulled.
different.
Yeah,
You're different. You're
so
not you're not able to understand what it is to be ushered into manhood. You
yes,
just kind of like fall
Listen,
into it
yeah.
and
And
figure it
you
out.
do it on the fly. Learning
this
manhood on
is
the fly is not fun.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be quiet. Me seeing my son came to me maybe 8-9 months ago, and he said, Mom, can you please put me in something? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you played sports before, but I took him out of that because his grades. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, I need to be in something that's going to, in so many words, elevate my character, because he saw himself getting deterred in the wrong directions. You know what I
That's
mean?
huge. That's
And
huge.
to me, that was so powerful, because my son could have waited to the last minute when it was too late,
Yeah.
or get locked up or hurting, whatever. But and I said, listen, I got him in so many programs, y'all. It don't make no sense. He like, Mom, how I'm gonna balance all this out and do school? But from that,
Now, what kind of work do you do?
he said, I'm tired of trying to figure out what I did wrong to my dad. And I snuck in his phone one time, y'all. I'm not gonna get too deep in it because I'm gonna cry, because when I feel like his dad is intentionally hurting my son to get back at me, that drives me crazy. I'm trying my best not to think that way, but I have no other choice, because I'm trying to, I don't know. But my son is literally begging in the text message, Dad, I'm so sorry for whatever I did. Can you please forgive me? Because he's going online. He's seeing his sisters, who he used to always be with, who his dad, every time he picked up one, he got them all. They going out of town. They going to parks. They going to parties. He's buying them cars, clothes, shoes. My son cries going online seeing this. And I pray on it. I want to cuss him out. I want to go over there and do some crazy stuff, but I can't. I got no other choice but to let him go through these things and let him feel it, because I don't know what to do, what to say. You want him to come on here? I cannot reach out to him. I can't.
So here's what I'll do. Here's what I'll say to you, Miko, as an adult man now who has grown up without a father. The only thing you can do to help your son is to get him around men like the ones you on this platform with right now.
Okay.
That's the only thing that you can do.
Yes.
Yeah.
'Cause you just don't have what's needed to help him,
Right.
Yeah.
other than an avenue to get him to men.
Okay. I definitely
You know
can
what I
get
mean?
him on here without a doubt.
You know,
I
and
can
from
reach out
there,
to his dad.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's fine. You know, it'll happen in due time. If it's meant to happen, it'll
Yeah,
happen.
just,
That's what I
Yes.
believe.
you know, we don't need to rush the process, but let's, see what,
Okay.
see what we
Just
can do.
I'll have him reach out to him, send him send him a few of you guys clips,
Yeah.
of some of your old ones, just to get familiar with it and just see
I
what
mean, listen,
answer he gives to my son from there.
you don't have to go that far. I mean, if that's what you choose, I'm not telling you what to do. Here's what I'm saying. Fuck the daddy. Your son is the one that needs the help. That's the future. You know what I'm saying? He's the future. He's the one that needs to be able to
And that's what we're doing with
understand.
the
Yeah,
son.
he needs to be able to understand how to deal with those emotions that he's
Yes.
having and those feelings. And you just don't have what it takes to help him.
Absolutely.
And I don't mean to sound like an asshole, but you built wrong to help him
Built different,
understand how to deal with that.
You built wrong.
He built different,
That
not
was,
wrong.
You
Different.
built different.
Hey man,
I
look,
knew what you was trying to
whatever.
say.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys though. I
Yes,
appreciate
man.
you guys.
We
I gotta
appreciate
cut
you.
this short though because I have to
Yes, ma'am.
go. But I will look into that and I'll speak to you about bringing him upon, and you just let me know which episode or whatever, which podcast to bring him into. Even if you want me to bring him into the one on the 6th and he just listen, and you
Yeah.
could probably pick his brain or something like that, I can do that as well. He was actually excited for me tonight with this.
Oh, he knew. Oh, so he knew you were coming on here.
Yeah, he
Oh,
knows
okay.
what I've been through. He knows
Yeah.
that I'm getting my happiness back, and he know I've been talking about this only for about 5 years. But
That is
now that
beautiful.
I'm just trying to get my feet wet, because to believe it or not, you guys, I'm really to myself. I'm quiet. I really don't speak much, even though I'm an operator at my job and I talk all day. But I'm stepping out of that. I'm trying to blossom in the woman that I am and do things differently. And I wanted to start a podcast.
Well, two out of three of us are introverts. I don't. Dr. Tari and I, we're introverted. T the only like alpha loud nigga. That's
You said loud.
Wow.
That's
but
all right.
no, but
That's
no,
And
okay.
if
We come
but
together.
that's
It's a good
that's the
cause.
mix. That's
and
the
if you
mix. And he's lucky because I had something. I had something waiting for him. Because T and I, we have this thing where we fuck with each other, and I was about to get his ass.
Oh man, I hate that it didn't happen, man.
I know. I was about to get his ass tonight, boy. But I'm gonna
Oh
get him.
Lord.
I'm gonna
You
get
said
him.
his mama saved him.
Huh?
no,
You said his mama saved him
my mom
tonight?
he wanted my mama to hear it. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
He's saving it for another shot. He want another shot at it. That's all it
I
was.
want another shot at him. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, just, you ever know
We'll
in
save
baseball
that for
with
the
an
next
intentional walk? I got an
podcast.
intentional walk this time. But
And if your
listen,
son is, let me say this real quick.
what,
If
brother?
your son is not comfortable coming on the platform, he can always reach out to Deese, and Deese can
Okay.
put him in touch with me or Dr. Ari.
Yeah,
We all about
he
the
can
young
always,
men.
In fact, we may do another one where we and I'm not gonna hold you up. If you look on our page, we have one where we talk to some younger brothers.
Yes, I saw that.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
So
I saw one of them.
we may So we may do something like that again.
Okay.
We're gonna do something like that again, and he can always be a part of that. We may even take
I'm very excited for that.
Okay.
He will love that. You'll be surprised. He will love that. I'd rather for all of you to be on with them, but whenever you guys
No, we all
think
will.
it's best.
I mean, no, it's gonna be all of us. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you for coming on, and just keep on your journey.
Yeah.
Don't look back. Keep pushing.
Be encouraged. Stay encouraged.
Yeah. Stay
Thank you.
encouraged.
Thank you guys so much. You have a wonderful, blessed night. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
You have a
right.
good night. All right.
All right, now.
Bye-bye. How the hell I get out of here?
I got
The red X.
Yeah. You said a red X. Man,
Man, that was cool as hell, man.
No, this was actually a beautiful show, man.
That was dope. Like for real.
I really, and not being, I'm not an egotistical person at all, but just when the sisters were communicating, the sisters start talking to your mother, I I really just turned my mic off because I'm like,
Yeah,
let's let them
ain't
kick it, man. You know what I mean?
yeah, ain't nothing else to say.
Yeah, wasn't nothing else to say, man. It was like, let's, let them carry the show, and you, and you,
Yeah,
and you.
Yeah. But I promised my mom I was gonna help her through it. She was really apprehensive, like, nah, I ain't trying to do this, man.
Now, Mama came on and showed out, boy. Tell Mama she did her thing, man. She
it was
I
came on,
told her.
dear man.
showed out. But since we know about your dad, now we know why you have so many problems with women. So,
That's what he was waiting on. That's what the fuck that nigga was waiting on. He was waiting on that bullshit.
Yeah, nigga, your dad is the only dude we know that
Oh,
defied science.
I
man,
know, man.
Actually, you you really could have been an immaculate birth.
I know. I was just about to say that's why he looked like fat Jesus now.
You said it was so small that she
That,
didn't get her virginity.
hold on, wait a
I'm
minute.
like,
She
wait
was
a minute.
12 and called this dick small. God damn. Jesus Christ.
Hey, man, y'all dudes ain't no good, bro. That's fucked up, man.
No, man.
Yeah.
Damn. But no, man,
Hey,
that was.
man, with
This
friends
was.
like y'all, who the fuck need enemies, dog?
You don't. You don't. Not one enemy. You got us.
Man, she said it was the hymen, it was still intact.
Intact. She said.
You know how small that
but
that's
it was almost when she said it, it was almost like you could see the 12-year-old in her face when she said it. You know what I'm saying? Like she had the head movement. It was like the 12-year-old came out like, wow. But that's funny, man.
That's crazy.
T and his problems. But my man
But
T. I appreciate you
I
too.
really, really fucking appreciate that, man. Because like I said, bro, it's been a long time coming, man. And to be able to see and understand her mindset, where she was at, what she was going through, and to be able to literally honestly forgive her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's big for me, it's big for her, and it's big for our relationship.
Hey man, and I appreciate, I was able to, and I'm glad y'all listened, to me, when we had our little back and forth, the sister and I had our interview back and forth, because y'all was able to, pick up on who she was, how she was, and you know what I'm saying, and then just able to, make the conversation more natural, because it was just a, robotic interview, and that's how I wanted it to be for her at the beginning, so she could get comfortable telling her story, and then for y'all to come in like y'all did it, that just made everything smooth, man, real smooth.
For
So
sure.
I totally appreciate that, man. So yeah, this probably about to
Hey,
be.
what's up, ma? Hold on, this is my mom's calling back. What's going on, ma?
Get back on. Oh, get back on.
No, we still on right now, man. You just. That's all right. It's all right, man. You
the
did
Flintstones meets the
you did
Jetsons.
what you did.
Man, yeah, man. Yeah, brother. This was like one of the best ones, man. This was one of the best ones. Yeah,
Yeah, it's personal. It was, for my brother. It was,
yeah,
she kind of like, you know, to have the sister talking and then auntie backstage.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she was able to feel comfortable enough, because I really just was happy that she was backstage.
Yeah,
I had no idea that she would come.
Yeah,
You know.
bro. Like I said, man,
make her presence felt. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah.
I was
She
just
made
happy.
her presence felt big time. Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so
What happened? Where you go? T, we can't hear you now. Doc, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't hear him.
We can't hear T. We can't hear you, brother. You
Your
can't
mic,
hear us either? I can hear you, Jay.
I hear you. Is your mic on? What do you say?
Oh no. I don't know what happened. Uh, well, cause you got a phone call, it knocked you out.
Yeah, that's what it is. You on the phone?
He probably gonna have to come back in. Yeah, he gonna have to come back in. But yeah, man, I man, I'm so happy that sister came on, man, for T, man. I can't reiterate, man. I kept thinking about it all the time. I just since we had that conversation with her, that's all I kept thinking about, man. Was her getting on here.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it was a long road of just reassuring her, like, this ain't no beat you up conversation.
Yeah.
This it's literally all about healing. You know what I mean? I'm not in a place where I'm trying to beat up on you or none of that. I'm understanding what you went through.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I see. Yeah. So she thought we was trying to. Yeah.
Yeah, she thought it was gonna be one of them situations where she needed to relive her past and all that pain and hurt. Like, nah, I ain't on that.
Hell
That ain't
no.
not where I'm at, man. You know what I mean? I want to see you win.
She looked good too. She looked good. Like
She
she gained
does.
weight, man.
Yep.
And confidence. Like it was just like she was just like a different person, man. Like life is slowed down for her.
Yeah, man. I mean, she said it, man. She literally started to grow up.
I don't know. Like I just felt when I seen her face, I was just like a kid. Like there she go. Like she actually here. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, man.
Who is Danielle Gibson? Danielle Gibson. That name sounds familiar. Somebody watching.
I don't know.
I know one Danielle. I wonder if that's the same one. She said we should be able to see the previous video. They're all on she in the chat. Maybe she could hear me, but they're all on our page. If you're on the Reconnect page, look like you texted from YouTube. Yeah, they're all on our page. You can go look into the page and remember, like and subscribe to everything. Okay, say Miko friend. Okay, 10 years.
Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah. Help us build the platform. We appreciate it.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Tell your friends. Tell your mama. Tell your Paul.
Yeah.
so T, like how does it feel to like be like on a serious note, like your father to be the only man that can have sex with a person and don't have sex with a person? Like how does it basically your father identified as having sex with somebody? That's basically what happened.
Nigga, how the fuck you supposed? I'm supposed to know. Shit. Like what the fuck? I don't know, nigga. Shit.
So he identified as having sex.
Thank you, Tenyo, for liking and subscribing. Thank you so much.
Hey, look, I guess the motherfucker, he was ahead of his time because everybody identifies something now.
That nigga, right.
Yeah, right.
That nigga is like the first pencil dick we heard of.
I have no idea.
But no, man, we got that was sweet though, man. This been a dope night, man.
Yeah. We just had to, that was cool. You know what I like about it? I just like that how the human experience can become so contagious that it allows other people to intimate themselves into the conversation.
Right.
Just talking about it, because it was there. Sometimes it is therapeutic, and reassuring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Just seeing people be able to just share,
be open, honest,
right, and not feel like they're gonna get beat up or beat down.
And not be criticized about it. Just this is your life. It's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's it, man. I mean, I think that's what we all want to be able to do. Say, hey, this is my life. This is how it went for me at one point in time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
look,
sir. Man, but
I'm
let's hold on. Let's do no, man. You started something. You got to finish something. You
closing
started
thoughts.
it. Yeah, you got the closing thoughts, brother.
Closing thoughts.
You know what I'm saying? Well, you gonna get the final thought tonight. I'll go first. Doc, you go second. That's cool.
Okay. Yep.
Let's let you get it. Well, my closing thought is, I think that when we look at everything for what it is, that we understand that across the board, there is, no way to separate the Black experience from man or woman if we're honestly looking at this thing. Um, and I think that every one of us should really be able to take at least a look at this episode and see an example of what may have went on in our lives or some of our family members' lives, because hearing these stories, man, and hearing how the trauma is passed down from generation to generation, man, that's a weighty experience for any bloodline to have to bear. And that's all I want to say on that.
For me, I want to just hone in on just how important it is to listen.
Yes, sir.
How revolutionary it is to just be quiet and hear and listen to someone else. How satisfying and freeing and therapeutic, it can be to give somebody a platform or ear or just some of your time, because we never know how that might impact another person. And I'm gonna leave it there, bro. You take us home, man.
Yes, sir.
Being empathetic. Yeah. Like, this has been the bane of my existence.
Sorry.
But it's so freeing. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna give a little story real quick. When I met Dr. Ari, we was neighbors, and we became brothers over the course of the years. And that was one of the biggest things that I admired about him, is the fact that he's so empathetic with people. I'm like, bro, how the hell do you do this? And we had conversation after conversation over month, over years. You know what I mean? And I got to a point where I was actually able to start doing it. And the freedom that I received from being empathetic was life-changing for me. And so what I would say to anybody who's, watching this is learn how to be empathetic to people in order for you to have your freedom, in order for you to be able to communicate with someone on a level and where it's effective. You know what I mean? And I'm just going to land it with that. So that's what I got for y'all, man. Peace, love, and hair grease.
Yes, sir. All right, fellas. I think we call it a night. This was a banger tonight.
Peace.
I appreciate y'all, man. All right.
Peace, peace, peace.